I am Reed. I am 27, just an average dude. I've made tons of money mistakes in my 20s, and now I want to share everything I've learned to help you take control of your finances and your life. If there is one decision in my 20s that completely changed everything for me, it wasn't a career leap, it was starting a business or finding some secret income source. It was choosing to live cheap when everyone around me was trying to flex their money. And before you roll your eyes, no, I am not saying you need to become a monk and never spend a dime ever again. That is not real life, and honestly, that sounds miserable. What I am saying is that learning to live not just below your means, but way below your means when you are young, gives you a kind of freedom that most people your age will never get to experience, even if they make more money than you. I am 27 now, and I've been seriously living below my means for the past few years, and it has completely changed how I see money and what I am able to do with my life. So let's start with a reality check, because I think a lot of us need it. Our generation's financial landscape right now is honestly brutal. Student loans are crushing people, interest rates are through the roof, inflation has eaten away at what our money can actually buy, and the job market is shaky at best. I know the news sometimes tries to make it sound like things are getting better, but in reality, so many people are struggling. I get comments every single day from people saying they can find a job or they barely getting by, and I've been there too. It is not easy. So it is no surprise that over 60% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. And once you are stuck in that cycle, breaking free is the hardest part, especially if you get a raise, because then your spending just goes up with your income. That is lifestyle creep, and it is a silent killer. The best time to avoid falling into this trap is in your late teens and your 20s, before you take on huge responsibilities like a mortgage, kids, or even just allowing your monthly bills to balloon up. The main problem is we spend way too much money on dumb stuff. Cars, rent, random luxury purchases, eating out every single night. It just eats people alive financially. The average car payment right now is anywhere from $500 to $800 a month. Average rent, depending on where you live, could be $1,700 to $2,000 or even more. And then just random miscellaneous spending, buying things you want, instead of things you actually need that can easily hit $300 to $500 a month if you are not paying attention. And the kicker is most of those costs are completely self-inflicted. No one needs a $50,000 car at 22 years old, but I've seen it happen again and again. No one needs to pay $3,000 a month in rent just to live in a trendy spot or have a two-story house all to themselves. But people do it, and then they wonder why they can save a single dollar. Let me give you a perfect example of how I messed up in my late teens and early 20s, because I think it hit home for a lot of you. When I was younger, I was always into cars. I've talked about my car mistakes before, but I run through it again because it really shows how dumb I was with money. In December of 2018, when I was 18 years old, I went out and bought a Subaru WRX with my own money. My dad co-signed, and I was so excited about that car, I thought I was the man. But here's the thing. Not only was I able to barely enjoy the car, I immediately started throwing money into it, upgrades, mods, stuff that added zero resale value. When it came time to sell it, I lost money on it. After all the upgrades and everything I still owed, I walked away with less than nothing. But that didn't stop me, because not even 2 years later, I sold the car, lost a bunch of money, and then went and bought a BMW. Because I wanted to have that nice car. I wanted to upgrade it. I wanted something faster and nicer and cooler looking. So I put a bunch of money into that too. Spent tons of time and effort building that car up, and guess what? Not even 2 years later, I convinced myself again that the smartest thing to do was to sell the BMW, which I was upside down on, lost all my money on the upgrades, and buy a brand new Tesla Model 3 Performance, because I was telling myself I was saving money on gas. I honestly thought I was being smart. Looking back, that was probably one of the dumbest financial decisions I have ever made. And since then, I got out of the Tesla, just ate the loss on it, and now I drive a Jeep. My Jeep payment is in the low 300s a month, and honestly, that is the lowest car payment I have ever had since I was 18. That is the first time in almost a decade that I am not bleeding money on a vehicle. So realistically, I am finally living below my means when it comes to transportation. But before that, I was just throwing cash into a fire. And look, I am not going to sit here and say I regret everything, because I did enjoy those cars. I had some fun experiences with them. But the honest truth is, I did not need to upgrade them that much. I did not need to put that much money into them. I could have just kept them stock, enjoyed them for longer, and paid down the principal instead of constantly trying to replace something great with something better. And I think the biggest trap that I fell into back then, and that I see so many people fall into in their 20s, is the I deserve it trap. This is honestly one of the biggest wealth killers out there. It is that mindset where you tell yourself, because you worked hard, you deserve to spend money on something expensive. So you work hard all week. Maybe you work 2 jobs like I did. I was working 50 to 60 hours a week between both jobs, and I convinced myself I deserved it. I deserve the expensive weekend out. I deserve the new watch. I deserve the newest phone. I deserve the expensive car payment, even though my current stuff worked perfectly fine. And the problem is, this justification becomes a habit. Suddenly, every time you get a bonus or a raise or some money from a side hustle, you blow it instead of saving it or investing it, because you keep telling yourself you deserve it. And look, there is nothing wrong with rewarding yourself occasionally. In fact, I think it is healthy to treat yourself now and then, but it needs to be planned, not impulsive. So next time you catch yourself thinking, I earned it so I deserve it, and you are about to drop serious money, On something, ask yourself this one question. Will I still be glad I bought this a year from now? If the answer is no, then that money is way better off sitting in an investment account compounding for your future. Let me give you a little more backstory. When I graduated college, I started a job where I was making around $32 an hour. That was the most money I had ever earned in my life. Plus, I was working a part-time job on the weekends on top of that, so I was bringing in decent income. And that is exactly why I convinced myself the Tesla was a good idea, because I thought I could afford it. I thought I had made it. But after I realized how much money I was throwing away, I got rid of the Tesla and I completely changed my approach. I locked down hard and focused on saving. I stopped looking at new cars, I stopped looking at designer clothes, I stopped browsing random collectibles online. I kept my life as simple as humanly possible. I kept living like I was still broke even though my income was going up. And because I did that, I was able to save and invest thousands of dollars every single year. I took my savings seriously and I built up a cash position of almost $60,000. Now, if you follow my net worth updates, you know I started trimming that down because I realized I had too much cash sitting around not working for me. So I started investing that money, buying stocks, putting some into crypto, and my money has grown from there. But the truth is, when you live below your means, you have the ability to not just save money, but to grow your money every single year. And as we all know that growth compounds over time, there are no magic tricks, no lottery tickets, no get-rich-quick schemes. It is just living way below your means for years and letting time do the heavy lifting. Now, don't get me wrong, I am not saying I never spend money, I absolutely do. I bought things that actually improved my quality of life. I bought new running shoes when I needed them. I kept my gym membership. I bought books and courses that helped me build skills. Me and my girlfriend went on a few road trips and took some travel vacations, but the rule I followed was really simple. Spend money on things that make your life better, give you real memories, and give you meaningful experiences. Not things that just look good to other people so you can take a picture and post it online to get some validation. Because at the end of the day, none of that stuff actually matters. It is all just materialistic noise that distracts you from what is really important. So here are the 5 main lessons I've learned about money in my 20s, and I am only 27, so I am still learning, but this is what I've figured out so far. Number 1, drive a reliable used car. No car payment or a very low car payment is one of the fastest ways to keep money in your pocket every single month. Number 2, keep your rent low. Get roommates if you can, house hack if you can find an affordable apartment in a safe area. The truth is, most of us don't want to be lifelong renters, so keeping your housing costs low now lets you save up for a down payment later. Number 3, avoid lifestyle creep. Just because your paycheck goes up does not mean your spending should go up with it. If you get a raise, pretend you never got it and put the difference straight into savings and investments. Number 4, invest early and invest consistently. Even $100 a month starting at 22 can grow into nearly $500,000 by the time you retire. Double it to $200 a month and you are looking at close to $1 million. And I am pretty sure most of us can find $100 a month to put away if we cut some of the nonsense spending. Number 5, cut the little expenses. That $19 a week subscription or coffee habit or fast food run adds up to almost $1,000 a year. It adds up fast, and most of it is completely mindless spending that you don't even remember a week later. And this is why it all matters. If you can keep your expenses low while you are young, you give your money time to grow and compound. Not only that, but you reinforce the mindset that you can live a simple life and be happy. You don't need a ton of materialistic junk to feel fulfilled. The real satisfaction comes from watching your money grow and knowing that you are building real financial freedom for yourself. Every single dollar you invest in your 20s can be worth $20 to $25 by the time you are ready to retire. I know a lot of people don't like thinking about retirement when they were young because it feels so far away, but the humble truth is most of us will need to retire someday. And that is when compound interest really becomes your best friend. Most importantly, you give yourself freedom. The freedom to quit a job you hate or to take time off to move abroad, to travel, to start a new business without the crushing stress of wondering how you are going to pay your bills next month. Because you have all that extra cash ready to go, you built that safety net by choosing to live a financially disciplined life when everyone else was busy trying to look rich. So if you are in your 20s, listen to me. This is your window. I know it doesn't sound fun up front. I know it does sound cool to be the guy who says no to expensive dinners and new cars and flashy clothes, but trust me on this, be cheap. Now save and invest the difference. That is the whole game. Save and invest the difference and spend your money only on things that truly matter to you, not on what everyone else is doing or what the latest trend is. And trust me, the future you is going to look back and be so grateful you made these choices. I have been doing this for only a few years and my financial situation has completely transformed. The peace of mind I have now versus when I was drowning in car payments and wondering where my next paycheck went is night and day peace. If you got any value from this video, I'd really appreciate a subscribe and a like. It helps the channel out a ton and it lets me know this content is actually helping people. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good day.